With schools closed and some people not working, the need for food is at an all-time high. A major effort is being made in Poway for every person in San Diego who needs a meal during this pandemic. KUSI's Dan Plant joins us live with those details. Dan?
You know, there's always been a need for food in our community, and it's an amazing need. I mean, they said that 60% of the kids in San Diego schools are below the income level where they actually qualify for free meals or subsidized meals of some kind. So there's already a lot of people out there who needed help. Well, guess what? Now it's even worse. All those kids are out of school. A lot of their parents are out of work, whether temporarily or forever. So there's a lot of insecurity out there. There's a lot of wondering what is going to happen next. So Feeding San Diego decided to step it up even higher than they already do. And I'm telling you, they feed a lot of people every year. You'll see that in the story. But they've decided to take it on the road and bring it to different locations around our community. Right now we're in Poway. We're at a place called the Trinity Church. And just about 20 minutes ago, this all started at about 4 o'clock. And it's going to go from 3 o'clock. It's going to go from 3 o'clock until 6. But in between 3 and 4, there was about 200 of these carts that went out, and 200 of these carts that are full of food, you know, things like apples and potatoes and things that are good for you, Ritz crackers, you can see the melons, all kinds of water. Everybody comes up and they say, how many people do you have? And they'll say, well, we have 4 people in our family. So they'll go into this warehouse right here, this trailer that Big Levecki is showing you right here. You can see there's another shopping cart that is coming out right now full of food, and people just drive up and they get their food. No questions asked. And this is the way it's going to be for a while, because Feeding San Diego is going to the people instead of the people having to go to Feeding San Diego. Take a look.
Extraordinary times call for extraordinary measures, and this is one of those times.
Have you ever seen anything like this?
No, this is unlike anything that's ever happened to us before.
Here at Feeding San Diego, the job of feeding the community just got a lot tougher, and they have seen some tough times.
We're seeing this really fast-growing increased population in need because workers are being laid off, workers are being fired, people aren't making money that they were making 2 weeks ago, and if they didn't have savings and living paycheck to paycheck, they find themselves right now sliding into food insecurity.
So I'm just gleaning the produce to make sure that it's safe to eat.
Ironically, at a time when the demand is at an all-time high, the number of volunteers is extremely low. A combination of fear and social distancing are having a big impact on everything.
Oh yeah, they've got it set up for safety, so we're definitely far apart.
So with fewer people and a bigger job, the show must go on.
We're reinventing every minute of every day. We're reinventing.
Part of that reinvention is taking the meals on the road. As it stands now, a different city every day of the week.
We're taking it to the streets, and we're trying to do it in a way that maximizes protection for both the folks who are accessing the food and the folks who are distributing the food. So we're maximizing the use of drive-through lanes.
And Feeding San Diego is unique. Last year, they handed out 27 million meals in San Diego alone. 27 million. Each one of those meals, no questions asked.
We're serving seniors, we're serving active duty military families that struggle with the high cost of living here, we're serving veterans, we're serving youth all across the county, and we're helping people who just fall on hard times.
And I got to tell you, as long as you've been on this earth, I don't know if anybody has seen hard times like this before. Everybody is saying we have never seen anything like this before. We're back out live. We're at the Trinity Church in Poway, and as you can see, these shopping carts are flying out of that trailer full of food. These folks just rolled up, and each one of them is going to get a cart. And once again, it is no questions asked. I mean, you just come on up, say, hey, I got 2 people in my family. Can you help me out? And they'll fill a shopping cart with for 2 people, at least some things to eat. You know, it's not everything. Obviously, I didn't see any steaks or any lobster in there, you know, but that's not the times we're in right now, and that's not the business that Feeding San Diego is in. They're into sustenance, healthy food. And by the way, Feeding San Diego is also unique in another way in that they take this food and reuse it. This is food that would normally be thrown away. This is excess food that either comes from restaurants or distribution places that would be thrown away. They grab it and make sure that people actually eat it. So it's really a very efficient system that they have. 27 million meals a year here in San Diego. That blows my mind. I don't know about you guys, but here we go. It looks like Next round of people are coming up. The cars are coming up, as you can see. And I will say this, I would stop and talk to these people, but a lot of these folks do not want to talk about this. They do not want to talk about their circumstance. They don't want to talk about hard times. They just want to get the food and go home. So I am not, approaching these folks and talking to them unless they want to come up and talk to me and tell their story. So that's what's going on. You see all these shopping carts that are moving out to these people's homes, and hopefully a lot of these folks will have a nice warm meal tonight. As it's starting to rain here in Poway, it's starting to get cold here in Poway. These folks, they just want to go home, spend some time with their family, and have a decent meal. And thanks to Feeding San Diego, that's what's happening. So Trinity Church here today. Tomorrow it's going to be Oceanside. Next day, El Cajon. The day after that is going to be Qualcomm Stadium. So we actually put these addresses on our website. Go to KUSI.com, and we should have a list right there of all of the different places and locations where you can come get food through Feeding San Diego's mobile distribution center, if you will. So this is basically the second day of this, and it's going to go on as long as they can do it. And quite honestly, they're hoping that they can set this up and have locations 5 days a week, because yesterday they were in Chula Vista. They served about 300 or 400 people in Chula Vista. Well, guess what happened today? 200 people showed up to that same location thinking it was going to happen again today, and the location has moved. They're hoping to set up 5 days a week. That isn't happening yet. But these are tough times, and literally every single day it is a different challenge for these folks, just like it is a lot of people in our world today. So at least hopefully these people are getting a meal, and that is better than not having a meal on your table, particularly at this given time. That's what's happening out here in Poway. It's starting to rain, and it looks like it's going to start to pour in a minute. So we'll just let you go with that, and we'll see you at 5.
I like the fact that we're going to have the information on our website for folks, and information if people want to volunteer, because clearly they need help with volunteers too, Dan. Thank you so much for your live report tonight.
Yes.
And you